Stringer, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen of New York City, we have the city controller, friend of the show, came by when he was running for office. Great guy. Scott Stringer, how you doing, sir?
Good morning. It's great to be back on the show.
Hey, thanks for waking up early with us. I mean, on the heels of the big election last night in the Democratic primary and the GOP primary, I wanted to just get you on the phone for the audience that's hearing that people that were registered to vote in Brooklyn, about 100,000, if I get the numbers right, charging that entire buildings and city blocks of voters were among the 126,000 voters purged from the Brooklyn books last fall. People who thought they were registered weren't there. Included 12,000 who moved out, 44,000 shifted to inactive voting status, and a stunning 70,000 removed just entirely from the books. Scott Stringer is going to be investigating this, but can you articulate what's happening here?
Well, it's pretty incredible that after talking about electoral disenfranchisement, when you think about what's happening around the rest of the country, where we have real voter suppression, and then yesterday we just realized that within our city we have the same issues. I mean, year after year, the Board of Elections has been picking people off the voter rolls, sending people to the wrong polling places, and it's become sort of accepted as sort of the way we conduct elections. And I think we've had enough. So as controller, I'm going to go in. We're going to audit the operations of the Board of Elections. We're going to ask about these voters. Where are they? What happened to them? And we finally have to clean up the way we run our democracy in New York City.
So the Elections Board Chief, Michael Ryan, he's the guy who oversees all of this stuff.
Right.
What's the backstory here? How come it's been a problem for so long? Why can't it get fixed? Who doesn't see it as a priority, and why wouldn't they want it fixed?
Well, look, a lot of incumbent politicians like the status quo. They like to know who the voters are year in and year out. They worry that you get a voter surge or voter interest because you can't predict how the election's going to turn out. And that's why we don't have same-day voter registration, where someone can say, hey, I want to vote for Hillary or Bernie today. I'm feeling motivated to get to the polls, but, I haven't participated yet in the process. You can't go on the same day and vote, even though you're a New Yorker, you're a citizen, you've got all the right, requirements, and it's silly. We should have same-day voter registration. We should be pre-registering kids who are going to turn 18 by the time of the election, so young people can have an easier time voting. We put up roadblocks, and it's hurting us. That's why our people don't participate, and we've got to do a better job getting people to the polls.
So it is, and like many people have speculated, it is kind of a, for lack of a better term, an inside job to make it difficult for not only for people to vote, but also difficult for people to jump through the hoops and plan to vote. It's very hard, and that's in favor of incumbent politicians because they want more control so they can predict things.
The greatest word in electoral politics is the prime voter. Everything is geared to the person who votes year in and year out. And I give that person a real credit. But imagine having an electorate where at any given moment or on any given year, anyone could vote. That means you have to service everybody in order to get reelected. And if you look at the voter roadblock, we have to make changes. Now, it's not just the Board of Elections. We've got to knock on Albany's door and pass progressive legislation that would empower people to vote. And we have to clean up the Board of Elections. We have to streamline it, fix the bureaucracy. That's what the audit's going to show, and that is why we're going in.
And so,
yesterday was I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say yesterday. You were going to say yesterday was a kind of a landmark day.
We have one of the most exciting elections in this state in a very long time, in decades. And it was disheartening for people to show up at polling places like mine to find out they were in the wrong location, or getting a mailing from the Board of Elections telling people, well, the primary is on it, and it actually is, or finding out that you are no longer on a voter roll because your name was purged and you don't know why. And we have to do a better job.
Laura Stiles, you got moved around to how many locations?
No, I had to go to 3 locations to find where I was going to vote. It wasn't easy, and I was determined. I made it to where I was like, okay, I have 30 minutes to get this done because voting takes like 5 minutes in and out, and I literally was running around for like 30 minutes trying to figure it out, trying to get information, and no one had like a clear answer for me until I finally was determined and got to my place. But it shouldn't be that difficult.
You're a hero, Laura.
A hero. You're going
Hero.
hero.
She took her right to vote seriously.
As you should.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
When you think about how many people sacrifice it for the right to vote in this country, in this city, we can't accept this anymore. And so, look, my job is to audit, investigate, challenge these agencies. Look, if they're underfunded, let's get them some money.
It's definitely underfunded, Scott. Mr. Stringer. Yeah. It's so underfunded. I mean, that's the understatement. We all know it's underfunded. We know that.
Well, let's find out how deep that is, and let's go get some money. If we need more personnel, let's go find some more personnel. If we need to get better managers, let's do that.
Well, you got Ethel and Myrtle. They've been working the voting thing for the last 35 years for free.
Exactly.
The volunteers, those ladies are like 75.
Well, some of those ladies, I'm not gonna mess with those ladies. Some of them are true champions.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I'm just saying, we could freshen things up.
Absolutely, and we don't have enough of them, and we do need to get new people in the system. And it's not like it can't be done. It has to be done. There just has to be will. I will tell you, I think there was a real anger out there yesterday.
There was.
In a long time, people were really upset, not just about their own experiences, but they were very upset to hear the experience that you had, having to jump to go to 3 different polling places. In the age of technology, there is no reason why we have to put up with it.
Scott Stringer, our city controller. Scott, hopefully you can find some time to keep us updated on your progress here. We'll be paying attention. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on that.
Thanks a lot.